Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy, D.R.O, Fredo, and I'm back again with another video today. Let's call it. Make sure you hit that notification button, hit that like button, because I'm dropping them fucking banger videos back to back all year long of 2026. So today, I got another story time for y'all, another story time video for y'all. And this is gonna be a long video. I ain't about to kid to you. This is a video about like how I grew up and everything I went through as a kid, all the way leading up, all the way up to now. So I'm from a small town, we call it the E over here, but I was born in Waxahachie. But I grew up in the E, since I was 5 years old. Well, really even before 5 years old, maybe like diaper days. But I always grew up in the E, and everything, let's call it. My dad were kids having kids. They were 17, 18 years old whenever I was born. So they didn't really know how to be parents and stuff at that age. They're still trying to figure out who they were at that age and time. To be honest, what's it call it? I went through a whole lot growing up. I most definitely did. I watched my mom be a drug addict for a long time. And it hurt me to see her go through that, to really see her go through what she was going through. And I was right alongside her when she was going through it for real. Watching my mom, I watched my mom get beat and everything else. By my brother and sister's daddy, because we got different daddies. So, what's it called? But yeah, I grew up on the south side of the E. And what's it called? Life was just foreshadowing me at a young age. Battling everything. I was battling and stuff, like growing up, seeing my mom do drugs. My pops was locked up. Since I was in diapers, and then by the time he got out, I was 10. And then next thing you know, it flipped the script. And then next thing you know, my mama had got locked up. And I was like 11 or 12. So, and then she went down for like 11 years. And then she got out when I was 23, about 4 years ago. So yeah, I was definitely going through a lot, But in the time that, let's call it, my parents didn't raise me, because my mom raised me from being a toddler all the way up till I was 5, along with my grandma. She helped raise me too with her. But after that, it was all my great auntie and my great uncle that raised me, and they did the best they could to raise me for real. Honestly, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say they did a bad job, because they didn't. They did a pretty good job compared to how most people would have raised me for real. And I give them their credit, because they were there. It was, my uncle Homer had he had like 3 jobs. He was a pest control specialist, a taxidermy person, and then he worked at a factory too. So he had like 3 jobs at one point. So he was never really home like that. But But my auntie she was always home, because she only had like 1 job, so she was mainly there. I guess I could say personally that a woman raised me to be a man. If you think about it, kind of like a Tupac thing. She was there through all the crap I was putting her through, everything, getting in trouble in school, getting suspended, and all that stuff that I had put her through. But, they did raise me in the church, most definitely. I just didn't want that lifestyle at an early age. I thought it was lame. I didn't really want that lifestyle. I thought going to church was lame. I thought worshiping God was lame. But in reality, it wasn't lame, man. Now that I'm older, I see everything that God can do for you for real. If you really have faith in Him, you really believe in Him, He can do great things in your life. He can bring good people in your life and keep you away from bad crap. Like people that you ain't got no business being around. And I'm more of a religious person now than what I was back then. Because back then I wasn't really religious. Back then I just wanted to be in the streets. I didn't really want to go to church. I didn't really want to be that good church boy that they were trying to raise me to be. And I feel like because I was only like that because I didn't grow up with my parents for real. I didn't really grow up with my parents, not really. And I see a lot of young kids that go out there, they 15 years old, 13, 15, somewhere around that age group. They talk about how they hate their parents. I'm like, I look at them with a crazy look in my eye, like I wish I had my parents. I didn't have my parents for real. I didn't. And just hearing young kids say they hate their parents, man, it makes you want to get in their face for real. Cause it's like you saying you hate your mom, you hate your pops. At least you got yours. Cause I didn't have mine. I don't even know what it feels like to have parents for real. Like my mom's been out for like 3 years, and that's a call it. And me and her been sticking by each other, for the past 3 years since she been out. But that's not that long having my mama around for real. Not really. But let's call it. Yeah, I started getting in trouble. I started smoking bud whenever I was 10 years old. That type of trip and everything. Hanging around the wrong people and everything. Just wasn't good for me. Really, reality. My school, like me going to school was cool too. Like it was cool. It was alright. I just didn't like school because I just don't like being around people. But I went to school, and I'm gonna say my bullying started in the fourth grade. That's when my bullying had started. I was in fourth grade, and it all started because I had got into a fight because I ain't gonna mention names, but the dude had talked about my mom, and you know how you get a person talk about your mom, you wanna bulk up with your chest out and everything, saying talk with your chest out. So yeah, we got into a fight. I lost. Woo woo. The next time we fought again, I won the second fight. Woo woo. But let's call it. As I got older, I thought the bullying would get better, and it didn't. It got worse. The older I got, being 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way up to high school, it just got worse and worse and worse. And that's what made me hate going to school, is I got bullied all the time. And for years I always kept it to myself because everybody thought I was lying about what I was going through, but I wasn't. I was telling the straight truth. So, I'll have problems with like at least eight people, 9 people. It'd be like at least up to 12 different freaking people that had problems with me and stuff. Just because I kept it real and I told them what they needed to hear, not what they wanted to hear. I don't tell people lies, man. I don't want people to tell me a lie. So, people get in their feelings about it. And that's why people hate me. And another reason why people hated me is because I always walk with my head up. I don't ever walk with my head down. It don't matter what I go through. I was like, man, I had to be on survival mode for real. Like, man, I was taking cold showers for like at least 3 years, bro. Like cold showers. It wasn't because I couldn't take. It wasn't because I couldn't take a shower. I could take a shower. I just couldn't take a hot shower. Shit, that's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't take no hot shower. I had to take a cold shower. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a choice. It was either that or be dirty all day. But yeah, Fredo gang. What's we call it? Like I was saying about the school though. Whenever I was going to school, I got bullied so hard, bro. I got bullied so hard, I was even scared to go to school. Because I knew when I went to school, I was going to get bullied. At the age of 13 years old, I started claiming the game. It was the most stupidest thing I ever did. All it did was make it worse. It didn't make it better, it made it worse. But I wanted people to respect me out of fear. So yeah, I started claiming crack. Thinking that was the answer. And it wasn't the answer. I walked away a lot because that's only what I was taught. I tell people every day, I was like, if I could go back and do it different, I probably would have. I probably would have fought a little more. That probably would have solved it. But I walked away. And it never got fixed. Never got fixed. And I'm 26. And living with a whole lot of regret. You know, violence ain't never the answer, but sometimes it does solve a couple things. And so, yeah, I got bullied so hard and everything, like, to where, like, I just didn't want to go to school. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm definitely supporting the anti-bullying campaigns people be doing around the world, because that's a good thing to do. Because at the end of the day, like, everybody in that schoolhouse is getting the same education. They all getting the same education. Like, it don't matter, like, if you popular, you're a jock that plays football, like, you know, or you the baddest female in the school. Like, none of that shit matters, bro. None of it matters. Y'all all getting the same fucking education. The same education. That's the only thing that matters. You know, and I didn't see that back then when I was younger. But I would have seen that, you know, I wouldn't have cared what people thought about me back then. You know, but, you know, at that age and time, I was young and still trying to learn quite a couple things for. But yeah, basically, you know, I was going to school. I had problems with a lot of people. People just didn't like me for real. People wanted to see me fail. People wanted to see me down to the ground and want to see life keep me there. And in my head, I was like I wasn't gonna let nobody stop me from graduating. But when I was 14 years old, I had moved to Florida. I started my freshman year over there in Pensacola. You know, I went to like at least 3 different high schools in 1 year. 3. Yeah, because I had went to Booker T. Washington High School, transferred from there all the way to Escambia High School, and then I moved right back to Ennis, which is the E, what we call it. So I went to 3 different high schools in 1 year, and I still finished my freshman year. I finished over here in the E. And then, what's it called? I finished in the E. And then, I finished my sophomore, junior year in the E, and then I moved back to Pensacola. And then I had graduated out there at Pensacola High School whenever I was 18 years old of 2018. But I got my diploma, and then after high school, I was just stuck. You know, I was stuck after high school. I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life because I didn't plan it. I should have planned it all those years, but instead I was too worried about girls, too worried about being cool, and I was too worried about all the wrong crap, and like my mind wasn't in the right place. And then I was still smoking bud too, obviously, but yeah, my mind wasn't in the right place. So that being said, me and my pop started having issues around that time. I ain't about to get too deep into that story, but you know, it was because you know, like, cause of women, like, you know what I mean? Like, every time my papa would get with a woman, like, he would always let them get inside his head to where, like, now me and him against each other, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we two lions, but like we two lions in the Pride Lands fighting for our territory. Like, you know what I mean? It didn't make sense, cause I'm like, I'm your son. I'm always gonna be here. They gonna come and go. But me and my pops, we won't ever be close, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I may know my pops in a way, but he ain't the man I think he is. He ain't the man I think he is. You know, my great uncle is more of a father to me than he is. That's sad, but it's the truth. He actually acknowledges me. He talks to me. You know, my pops he don't talk to me. He won't even pick up the phone to call me. All it takes is 1 second, not even 1 second, maybe just 2 minutes to call somebody, and he don't do that. So, you know, that's why I say to a lot of kids, you know, they have no idea what it's like to have a father that acts like that he don't want nothing to do with them for real. I spent a lot of my time trying to find the connection with my father like I did whenever I was in diapers, and I can never rekindle that connection because he won't let me. He's too prideful and stubborn, and it won't work. But yeah, I grew up in the E. I grew up riding bikes and everything. You know, I've had the neighborhood I grew up in, man. Like you couldn't leave a bike out; it'll get stolen. I had at least 7 bikes stolen from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you leave a bike out, man. Like, I even put it in the shed, and it still got stolen. That's how bad it was back then. I swear. But what's it called? Yeah, man. I'll be lying if I said that I'd be lying if I said I ain't ever ate dumpster food to survive for real. But I did. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ashamed of it either. Anybody can say what they want to say, but I'm not gonna starve for nobody. I'm not gonna starve. I survive. Like I'll do what I have to survive. Out here, it's survival of the fittest, man. It's kind of like they say, like if you lock down, it's do or die. You know, that's what they say in there. And it really is like that in there. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people been telling me that. But yeah, I do what I gotta do to survive. You know, I'll do it, man. If I ever had to go back to doing that crap again, I would. Because at the end of the day, it's surviving for real, man. Like not asking nobody for nothing. I never ask nobody for nothing. Not even for a dime. I don't ask nobody for nothing because I ain't that way. I feel like if I don't have the money, I don't got it. And that's what it is. But yeah, my life, it was terrible in many areas. I was dating a lot of the wrong women, going for the looks instead of going for the heart and the personality. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a lot of stuff I didn't know when I was a jet coming up for real. Like you feel me? Like I had fake homeboys. Like you know we cool like this. Oh what's up my dog with bumping fists, everything, shaking hands, and then I walk away, go to my class, they talking shit behind me. So you know I had fake homeboys too. Like they always envy me for no apparent reason at all. And the funny thing about that was I wasn't even pulling girls like that back then. Not really. But they hated on me for some fucking reason. It's like they seen something in me they didn't like. It's because I walked my head up. That was the reason. I was the type of nigga to where I could get beat up and still walk around like nothing happened. And niggas hated that about me. They thought I was gonna walk around crying. Hell no. For what? Today's a new day. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, so I had fake homeboys. I got one real homeboy, but he's dead. So, you know what I'm saying? He had got killed up there in Florida. You know, it tore me apart when I found out that happened around 2020. You know, but yeah, I also grew up skateboarding too. Like that was around like 2013, 2014. Everybody was skateboarding around that time. So I got into skateboard. I still know how to skateboard to this day. Kick flip, heel flip, you name the trick. I still know how to skateboard. I just don't have a skateboard. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying, Frail Gang? Like, I still know how to skate to this day. I still know how to do a lot of things to this day. I even still write music to this day. But yeah, like, and then the shuffling came before that in 2012. Everybody was shuffling, making the video shuffling and stuff, showing off their skills. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. I wasn't the best shuffler though. No, I wasn't. It took me a long time to learn how to do that. But it was simple. I was just overthinking it. Yeah. But yeah, I remember doing that. Chilling with my cousins and stuff, obviously, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't as close as what we used to be. We used to be really close, but these days, we ain't close no more. Not really. Everybody's living their own lives and stuff. Me, I mean, I'm doing what I need to do, doing what I gotta do. I'm staying focused on this YouTube thing, this YouTube journey that I'm going on. But what's it called? I'm just not nervous anymore to be on camera. I used to be. But I'm just not anymore. I have worked my curves up to where I'm not nervous on camera no more. But what's it called? And I keep saying that crap, golly. It's because I'm trying to tell y'all how my life was. Okay. So I told you about like the events, you know, what made me into what I am today. But yeah, I got bullied a lot, man. And one thing I can especially say about bullying is that bullying is not cool. Bullying is the reason why school shootings happen and young teens get unalived. You know, bullying is not cool, man. Cyberbullying, verbally, physically, emotionally, it's not cool to bully somebody, bro. Then you got people that turn real crazy and throw it off because they got bullied and stuff. You know, to be honest, you know, I'm gonna say something that's so accurate, but it's so true. Most serial killers got bullied. I looked up a lot of different serial killers and, you know, looked into their past and everything, like just doing research, watching documentaries on them, and a lot of them got bullied. A lot of them did. A lot of them got bullied so hard they were that vase that cracked, and they just started doing the most. You know, for real, man. My ex-girl said that she knew a girl that she went to school with. She was a nice person, nice girl, and she always was nice to everybody. Everybody was always picking on her, and she snapped one day, and she ain't never been the same since. She crazy than mug these days. She throw it off. You know, that's actually what started happening to me too, to where it started making me a little thrown off and stuff, to where like I didn't really care about nothing for real. You know, I would just feel anger and rage every day. But I realized something though. If I let bullies let that happen to me for real, it means they're winning and I'm losing. So in my head, I'm like, they want me to wreck my life. They want me to mess up everything I got going on for myself. You know, and I wish most people could see it that way, but it don't matter about what they think. If they got something to say, because they ain't got nothing better to do. If they talk about you, it's because they got nothing else better to do, and they ain't got no life for real. They really a fan, if you think about it. If people talk so much crap about you, man, they're a fan for real. They just don't want to admit they're a fan. I swear, man. That's the truth. If someone talks so much crap about you, and all they know how to do is say something bad, they like what you doing. They just don't know how to express it the right way, so they talking trash. They a fan. They your biggest fan, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I didn't grow up with my siblings either. No, I didn't. I got a lot of siblings, bro, and I ain't close to not name one of them like that for real. You know, I'm not close to any of them. I was more close to my cousins than I was my siblings. You know, and what's it called? It's so crazy because it's like now that I'm older, how things change a lot in life. Like we ain't close like we used to be for real. You know, it's because everybody got a pride problem. That's what it is. Like I'm the only, like they expect me to keep coming to them first. I ain't gonna keep doing that because it's like I shouldn't have to be the one that be the bigger person. They keep coming to them first. You know, that's stupid. So I just left it alone. It what it is. I mean, hell, they speak when they speak. I speak when I speak. It what it is. They see me when they see me, and that's how I look at it. And let's call it. But to me, staying in Florida was a lot better for me. I had a good support team out there. I had a teacher that was supporting me. You know, she had everything going for me. Let's call it. She was gonna help me get me a job, help me get a roof over my head, like an apartment, all bills paid. I had a good support team out there. I lost all that when I came back to Texas. And let's call it Texas. I just feel like I didn't fit in Texas, even though I'm originally from Texas for real. Well, yeah, I just felt like I'm from Florida. Like, you know, like I guess I could say I'm Florida made, cause like I'm Florida made, but I'm Texas raised. There you go. Yeah, man. I even got the Florida tattoo. on one of these arms. I think it's on this arm. I don't remember. But yeah, Florida was good for me, man. Florida was definitely better. Like I had beef down there too, but it wasn't as bad as it was in Texas for real. The beef down there was like it was like mild beef. It wasn't even like a lot of beef with people like it was in Texas. That's because the problem in Texas is there's a lot of ignorance in Texas. So Texas people beef with Texas people. You know what I'm saying? You got D-Town that goes against H-Town. You got Fort Worth that goes against Longview. Like, you know, you got beef within the Texans, bro. And it sounds stupid, but that's really what Texas be doing for real. So, what's it called? I guess that's the reason why I always had the problems I had. You know, and then I've always blunt too. Like I was always a blunt person. But now I do more listening than I do talking. I don't really like talking to people for real, or even talking like that for real. But yeah, my life was crazy, man, for real. There was times that I could have got caught up in crossfire of a shootout, a couple shootouts actually, when I was in Florida. You know, because I always used to go to the projects. And I used to chill in the projects all the time. And one time I left the projects because something just didn't feel right, so I had left. You know, I had that, you know, you have that tingling feeling in your gut, that hair on the back of your neck be standing up. So I just knew, and it just felt so irky, the air. So I was like, man, I got to get up out of here. So I shook my homeboy's hand. I was like, all right, I'll catch you later. I'm about to go back to the crib. And then next thing you know, it was probably about, I'm going to say about 15 to 20 minutes. You know, once I got like 3 blocks down, they had a shootout. Man, if I would have stayed there like 5 minutes longer, or at least 10 minutes longer, I would have got caught in that crossfire. Because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's so many times where I could have died for real. I could have got unalived, like, behind being around the wrong people. So I always loved my homies from a distance because I knew they would have had me dead before the age of 21. You know? I mean, they probably still living their same little life down there. Probably. I don't know. You know, I don't really know because, like I said, I lost contact with all of them. But yeah, like, I've always been a lone wolf too. Like, you know, like I said, I stay to myself. Like, I don't really bother nobody. You know, I don't really care for nobody's attention for real. And so, I just tell folks straight up, like, if you want to do something in life, you know, you just go ahead and do it, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know right now as a YouTuber, I'm an amateur. You know, I'm not even in like the mid-range right now. I'm an amateur. Like, I know my videos are kind of amateur, but like, at least I put stuff out there. At least I do. Because some YouTubers, when they start, they just want to be all professional, but sometimes you just got to work with what you got. Sometimes you can't do the things other YouTubers do because you ain't got the money for it, man. You know what I mean? So you work with what you have and make it something. And right now, I've been doing all my videos on my phone, man, like to be on the cool. All my videos I recorded on my phone, post on YouTube. And then I'm my own cameraman. I ain't got a cameraman. I'm a do-it-yourself type of dude, if you catch my drift. But, what's it called? Like I was saying, I've always hated, like when you do something in life and then someone says they can do it better. That's a hater right there. That's what that is. That's a hater. If you show them what you could do and they talk about, oh, I could do it better, man, they're a hating motherfucker, bro. I'm gonna keep it real, bro. I'm gonna keep it G. Cause I had dealt with one of those before. Back when I was staying in Longview, there was this dude. I ain't trying to put him on blast, but he stayed right next door to me and shit. You know, when I was with my ex and shit. You know, it was like about 2 relationships ago and shit. And so every time I did something, he always said he could do it better. He was a hating motherfucker, bro. He was a hater, bro. He was a goop motherfucker, like goofy. For real, man. Like, That man was goofy than the mud, man. Like, talk about he could do something better. That's all that showed me is that, and I stopped associating myself with him. The reason why is cause he wasn't no good. Like all he know how to do was talk a lot of trash. I was like, I ain't got time for this shit. So I just came home after work, and then I just went inside the crib, watched a movie or something, or chilled out with the girl I was with at the time. I mean, I could spill a bunch of stuff, bro. Like, but this is the reason why I don't have homeboys. All right, I'm gonna put them on blast. I didn't think I was gonna do this, but I'm about to put them on blast right now. So, when me and her broke up, cause we were together for like 5 years. When me and her had broke up, she told me he was sliding in her phone, trying to have sex with her and stuff. That's why I don't have homeboys. He was never my homeboy anyway. He was a goofy. But I already knew he didn't have no respect. He had a whole baby mama and she was pregnant with his kid. And you know, he's trying to fuck around on other men's girls for real. That ain't cool, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That ain't cool, man. Nigga beat your ass over a girl for real. For real, man. I mean, I don't fight over girls anymore. I used to. But back then, that's who I was for real. I was ready to get it for real. I wasn't gonna fight over her. I was just trying to fight him because it's the principle. It's a respect thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was with her and you were low key checking her out. For what reason? Just because I was with her? Now you want her. It's always like that, bro. With me, it's always like that. I ain't about to stress it, but it's always been like that. If I get with a girl after I break up with them hoes, now this motherfucker wants to date her. Now this motherfucker wants to date her. You feel me? Like, I'm like, man, y'all some green motherfuckers, bro. Y'all green as hell. Shit, for real, man. One thing about me, bro, I'm gonna say this, bro, and this is all my dead homie for real. I don't date other dudes sloppy seconds, bro. Shit, I don't even date where I'm from, bro, because it's like everybody know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Hell no, I haven't dated where I was from since 2017. That's 2026 already. But hell yeah, shit. I ain't gonna lie, man, shit. I feel like my ex was fucking with him anyway, like low key on the down low. She said she wasn't, but hell, women lie, bro. Women always lie, bro. She said that he was messaging her on Instagram. You know, on Instagram, sending her some explicit videos and shit. I was like, oh, hell no. I was like, man, he a goofy. Shit, he green in the mud, bro. Hell yeah, man. Like, he was scary too anyway, man. Like, it's kind of like they say, bro, like, when they see a small town motherfucker like you, bro, like, they be scared for real. Some big city folks be scared of a small towner. Like, cause they know that you from a small town. I tell people, when you grow up in a small town, it makes you tough, fool. Cause like when we were growing, I was growing up, we didn't pull triggers, bro. We fought. That's what we were about. We all, you know, everybody in my generation, we were fighting for real. But instead, let's call it this generation, man. All they want to do is pull that gun out, man. And then they cry when they get fucking 20 to life in prison. They're like, hell no. But yeah, right now, I ain't even worried about nothing. I ain't worried about no women. I ain't worried about no goofies. I'm just worried about my YouTube channel, you know, and what can I put out here for y'all. But yeah, that whole situation about that dude was called it saying he can do shit better. That happened around 2023. You know, just to let y'all know. And so, what's called that? I haven't had another long relationship since that relationship, to be honest. I ain't looking though. because I don't really care too much anymore. Like, I'm so numb to things. I'm numb, so it is what it is. I just want to stay focused on my career, and this is a career. Like, of course, it's gonna take a little bit of time before like I get somewhere with YouTube. But once I get there, I'm gonna be happy than mug to see them checks coming in back to back, back to back. You know, doing all these videos every day for y'all, pranks. You know, I'm gonna start doing pranks. I'm gonna start vlogging, going places and want money and spending money and, you know, like putting some stuff out for y'all for real. There's a lot of different YouTubers I looked up to that made me want to be a YouTuber. You know, I don't know if y'all watched P2 is the name, but that was my favorite YouTuber right there, man. He was my favorite YouTuber, and he's part of, he's like part of the main reason why I'm being a YouTuber and I'm doing YouTube, because he just made it look fun, man. You know what I'm saying? He made it look fun, and I definitely liked all his videos, man. Like all his videos, like I watched all his videos, his pranks, all the videos, man. Like he was like the #1 YouTuber in my description. And then, you know, it's like, you know, that's one person I wanted to do a feature with, like when I do make it on, you know, on YouTube. And then I heard about the bad news, and I got depressed, man. I did. Because it's like, dang, when I make it, you know, I can't even do a feature with him because of what happened. That was one person I really wanted to do a video with. Because he's my favorite YouTuber. He's part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. YouTube. You know, and I thank him for that. I shout out to him, you know, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't want to be a YouTuber. For real, man. He showed me that you can do anything you want to do in life, bro. You just gotta really put your mind to it and just do it. Like them Nike SB, just do it. Anything you want to do in life, just do it. You know, I went through a lot of crap in my life, bro. I got fired from jobs. I had fake people trying to steal my girl that I would be dating at that current time and place. I had people, what's called it, make rumors about me that weren't even true. I had so much stuff happening in my life, and yet I'm still standing tall for real. Because people hate the deer with the biggest antlers, bro, and I'm one of those. But yeah, long live P2 for real, man. Long live P2. But what's it called? Yeah, that was like one of my favorite YouTubers. I still watch his videos to this day, bro. It's because every time I watch his videos, it's like I feel something inside, like that makes me want to do another video. Because like he gives me the inspiration. He really do, man. Like it's crazy how you can watch someone's YouTube channel and it gives you so much inspiration to where you want to go do it yourself. But yeah, what's to call it? A lot of people tell me YouTube takes a lot of hard work, but I'm willing to put in the work just to get to where I want to be. You know, I'm willing to put in the work. You know, I'm willing to do a lot of stuff. You know, I probably do like workout videos too, like burpees or stuff like that. You know, little videos for y'all and everything. But yeah, y'all, what's called it? My life is full of crazy events and stuff, man. Like, I remember I got in so much trouble in school. Like, when they called me to the office, I was thinking I was in trouble. And I was like, damn, what I do now? They're like, you didn't do nothing. I was like, oh shit, okay. I thought you know what I'm saying? Like, I always got in trouble, bro, on some stupid shit, bro. I'm so glad I stayed to myself these days, man. Thank God for that, bro. Amen. But yeah, it's called. I hope everybody's week's been going good. I hope everybody's been having a good day at their job. I hope everybody's been staying blessed. You know, just getting through life. And, you know, just staying on their grind for real, man. Because the struggles don't never stop. They never stop. You know. one time when I was 18, you know, I had spent like about, it was like a week or 2 weeks in a homeless shelter. Because me and my dad got into it. Like I said, I had problems with him around that year, 2018, 2017. That was the toughest time of my life, bro. That was the first time I ever experienced really being out there, like sleeping outside on the streets. That shit was scary, bro. I was paranoid the whole time. Then I finally decided to go back home. And then we kind of talked it out. But all in all, you know, it's just got, man. I ain't trying to sound like I'm a real Christian because I got problems of my own. I'm going to say, like, I'm not perfect because I struggle with anger too. And not want to let things go. But most definitely, like, let's call it, it's always better to forgive somebody than to mess around and like hold it in. I can't say that it's easy for me because I'm a Scorpio. You know, feel me? Like us Scorpios, when somebody do something to us, we take it to the heart. So it's like it's very hard for us to get over some things for real. And it's like the biggest problem with being a Scorpio is that we love revenge. We love to get even any kind of way we can, even if we had to sell our soul for real. But that's just what it is for real. Like, you know, even if it took us a long time, years to get even with somebody, we'll do it for real. Because that's how we work for real. They say Scorpios are evil. We're not evil. We just hate being betrayed. That's what it is. Like, I hate being betrayed. I hate being lied to. That's the fastest way to make me look at you different for real. Lying to my face and everything, and just acting fake in my face. There you go. Acting fake. Period. Like whether it's behind my back or in my face, I don't do that. You might as well go somewhere else with that. But it's because I always keep it real with people, so I expect the same energy back. You know, I always keep it real with people. I don't take advantage of people or nothing, so like I expect that same thing back. But it's very hard to find that crap these days within people. No, people will stab you in the back. People will lie to your face. People will get you fired from your job. You know, people will try to mess up your life in any kind of way they can, just because they know they can, or they'll try to anyway. But that's only if you let them. You feel me? But as long as you stay to yourself, you stay on your grind, just go to work, go home, man. You straight, man. You straight, my boy. For real. That's real. But yeah, let's call it. But yeah, man, kids that want to drop out, it's better to stay in school, my brothers. You know, it's better to stay in school. Because like when you drop out, you might not have a good life 7-8 years from dropping out. Your life may be crap because you dropped out of high school. And all because you dropped out, let's call it, your life is shit. It's always better to get your education. And if you feel like you gotta go to college, then you go to college. You feel like you gotta go to trade school, then you go to trade school. You know, that's what I should have did. You know, I'm still, like right now, I'm in the process of learning how to fix lawnmowers. Like, you know, learn how to take it apart and everything and fix the lawnmowers by watching YouTube videos, how to do this, how to do that. But I'm learning something, which is a trade. So, you know, even though I ain't going to school for it, I am learning something. You know, never let no one put a blockage on your learning. Never let no one do that. You know what I'm saying? They keep you from learning, then it's time for you to move around them for real, because they're putting a blockage on your learning and your knowledge that you have up here. But yeah, let's call it. Other than that, man, let's call it. I just been trying to stay focused on myself, work on myself, read a lot more. I've always loved to read. I've always loved to read books. I've always loved to learn new things every single day. It don't matter how old you get, you will always stay forever learning something new every day. You can never know everything. It's the world for real. You know, and it's either you learn or you don't learn. It's always better to learn than not learn, you feel me? But yeah, this story time, man, like, you know, it's what led me to wanting to do YouTube and just grind. because I told myself, I was like, they say, what if you get with a female that wants to be with you because you're famous on YouTube? I was like, then they ain't for me for real. Cause like, what was you whenever I was right here for real? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was you? You know what I mean? Like, because if you were there, if you there for me when I'm way up here, but you weren't there for me when I was at the bottom, then you ain't for me for real. That just means because I have it. That means you feel like you deserve to have it. But nah, you didn't support me. You didn't support me through the hard times. Like, you know, when I first started, the struggles, the grind for real. So it's like you don't deserve to be with me for real. And I tell a lot of people that, man, I say they'll start coming around when I say women do that. And not all women, but some women do it. They'll start coming around whenever you start blowing up on TikTok, you start blowing up on YouTube, you start blowing up on Instagram, like platforms, like, you know what I'm saying, you one of the biggest hot rappers in your city, like that's when they start coming around. But when you were a nobody and your name was ringing a bell in the streets and in the city, man, they act like they didn't even know who the hell you was for real. That's fucked up, bro. But that's how it is these days, man. These bras, man, they something else, bro. Shit, I don't give a fuck if I die alone, man. Shit, it is what the fuck it is, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It really is what it is. So, you know, the ones that support you, though, from whenever you were at the bottom, all the way up to the top, through every moment, every crisis and all that, that's wifey. Real talk. You know, I tell people straight up, man, even the friends, man, they'll make fun of you and stuff for trying to do something big with your life. Whether it's run your own company, whether it's any little thing that makes you happy, whether it's music, you know, they'll try to make fun of you and stuff. But it's only because they ain't doing it. I've been through that too many times. I remember people telling me I couldn't even rap back then. But you know what? I know how to rap. I know how to rap real good now. All those years of practicing, just freestyling all night, all day long, like, it actually helped. It did, because I practiced all the time, bro. Like, and I just wanted to be really good at what I was doing, my craft. You know, sooner or later I'll bust a freestyle for y'all. I mean, right now this is just a story time and advice. But yeah, let's call it. My great auntie, my great uncle, they did the best they could take care of me for real. They really did, you know. For real, they didn't have to take me in, but they did. And I'm glad they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I could say I had some people in my corner. I met some people younger than me that went through a whole lot more than I did in their life. That's crazy, but that's usually how it is sometimes. And I'm thinking I went through a lot. And I hear their story, I'm like, damn, they went through 10 times more than what I did. You know, I used to watch my dad go in and out of jail too, bro. I mean, I watched my dad get a job within a week, but he has more luck than I do when it comes to jobs. I mean, there's certain things I do. I'm not gonna say I stay broke, because I don't. There's things I know how to do. Like, I know how to mow yards, I know how to trim hedges, I know how to do little things to make money. So money's never an issue for you. And I'm not gonna say I make a whole lot of money, but I make okay money. You know, but yeah. Shit, man. But yeah, let's call it. I'm gonna be dropping the videos all day long for y'all. Let's call it this year. You know, cause I really want to get somewhere with this YouTube stuff. For real, I want to be able to get sponsored and monetized to where different companies are sending me stuff to review it through the mail. Like, I want to get sponsorship and monetized by BB gun companies to send me packages of BB guns in the mail for me to review and everything, and make a video to tell people how I feel about it. You know, because that's basically how I started my YouTube. Because I had 3 different BB guns, and I reviewed them and stuff, and I made videos on them. That's how I started my channel. BB gun reviews, CO2 BB guns. You know, rifles, pistols. You know what I'm saying? Semi-automatic. You know, anything like that. I mean, I even want to unbox and review paintball guns too. That too. You know, even real guns eventually. You know, once I start making the money for it. But right now, the cheap things is the BB guns. So you know, gotta do what I gotta do. So. But yeah, let's call it. Y'all keep y'all's head up out there. Y'all keep y'all's head up there. Y'all keep y'all's head up out there. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Turn y'all notification bell. I'll be dropping back-to-back bangers all year long. And I'll see y'all later. It's your boy, that real one Fredo. Alright, y'all. Peace.